morning, everyone. It is Wealth Wellness Wednesday. I don't know how it is up at the Northeast. I know there's like a energy within the middle of the United States, but we are gray and kind of gloomy, which is preparing me for up north. So, but it is what it is. It's not going to impact our wealth and wellness because we're going to kind of work through that. But it is Wednesday. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live with two
Sisters. Hey everyone, it's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0 on this Wellness Wednesday, December 14th, and 2 days before Gary and Princess RaeRae's respective birthdays. Of course, Gary is the much older one by 60 years. RaeRae will be 6 years old, so we're very excited for those two family birthdays this week.
Right.
And think about too, everything going on in the world today, like the weather, it's gloomy out and you get that cold kind of feeling. And it's almost like a damp cold here. That's kind of how I describe it, where, for instance, I wear a pair of socks and I wear my real heavy socks. And then I wear my slippers around the house and my feet are still cold. So go figure.
Wow. I know. I just saw a meme of the weather alert in this area where Friday morning they're expecting it to dip below 40, but we're on the cusp of that. So we're not quite there. We're a little bit further south than where that's supposed to hit. So, there's just some really weird weather coming through. And I find it kind of ironic that, obviously this is a very busy time of year period, but it's also a big travel time for a lot of people, especially the way Christmas falls this year. It falls on the weekend. So people tend to, want to really, if it's during the week, it actually kind of works out better for people for their work schedules. But when it's on the weekend, people will tend to take that time off. So it's a big travel time as well, which the weather today is definitely going to impact travel for a lot of people. So we hope people will keep with that good holiday spirit, be patient, and, just deal with it as it comes. And, hopefully I tell people the best time to travel is, before noon, if all possible, because the percentage of flights, when I'm talking about flights in general, that leave before noon usually don't get canceled. Usually they want those first, morning flights up to like before lunchtime, they want out. But as the day goes on, that's where the delays start to occur. So if you have the opportunity, and even if you didn't do it this year, but maybe the airlines is offering you, hey, can you fly out the next day? And it's an early flight, I would take it because they have a higher percentage of success without being delayed. And if you can't, something to think about in the future. So anytime you have a big holiday, whether it's Thanksgiving, Christmas, actually Thanksgiving is actually the most traveled holiday by air and on the road. But Christmas tends to be a lot more flights in the air. So, future reference, just try to book that flight. I know for a lot of people, that means they got to get up early. Yeah, but wouldn't you want to get up early and really save some peace of mind with your health, wellness, and mindset? Because you get to your destination without any, glitches, hopefully. So that's kind of, I always try to, especially if it's around the holidays, make sure my flight's before a certain time to make sure that, I want to delay the least delays as possible. So.
Yeah, we have somebody coming in from LA today, and their track of boarding passes or delays, they will get here. I think their flight comes in at like 9:40, but it sounded like an interesting travel, like she had an interesting journey. So I'm eager to hear what went on with that. And packing your bags is one thing, packing your patience is another.
Right.
Gotten frustrated. Maybe somebody cuts in front of line of you and maybe they didn't realize, and people get all bent out of shape. So just kind of, if you're on the road, traveling by air, whatever it may be, just kind of, take a deep breath. I always do my breathing exercises, because that kind of, if I'm feeling that anxiousness, or if somebody did, cut in front of me, I'm like, whatever. I'm just like, am I that far behind? Like, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things?
Right. And also being prepared for, I would say be prepared for the delay. Make sure you've got a book that you can read. Yeah, you can certainly be on your phone, but what if you're one of those who packed your charger in the suitcase and it's not on your carry-on? So make sure you have that. If the bustling around you is too much, use your earbuds to kind of block that out. Maybe put on some holiday music, especially this time of year. Usually, I would say 99.9% will put a smile on your face of some sort. So put some holiday music on. Just make sure you have things to occupy. And if you have little children, make sure you're packing their snacks, their favorite things to do, and even a small project, even just a coloring book and crayons, and have a coloring contest, make it fun. So, it is what it is, and you've got to, sadly, that's part of traveling. But I absolutely love that. Pack your patience, and also pack your kindness, because some people don't do well, number one, with traveling, but they also don't have patience. So maybe when you're packing your kindness might impact and or overflow to them, which may calm them down and maybe make them happier and or kinder to other people. So it really is just a matter of tolerance. These are all things you need to travel with. And it's not always easy. We know that. Everyone is excited to get where they want to go. Usually when a delay occurs, it does impact your mindset, because then you start worrying about, am I going to get to my destination on time? Do I have another connecting flight? So there's all these different variables. So I really try to tell people, holiday time, try to get an early flight, try to make sure it's a nonstop flight, depending on where you're going, and, make the best of it. Pack your kindness, your patience, your tolerance, and you just hope for the best, and hopefully people that will resonate with other people, because a lot of it's out of our control, or actually most of it's out of our control, right? So if you've got a delay, how many of you, and I've done it myself, have gone up to the counter like, well, what's going on? Sometimes it's a staffing issue. Sometimes, there was an issue with getting the pilot in, because maybe he was on another flight that's delayed. There's so many different variables, and the poor counter people can only service you as best as they can with the knowledge and the information they have, which a lot of times they don't know either. So, check your flight before you go. If you don't have the app, I think a great way to really get the accurate information is a flight tracker. And every airline has them. You can check your flight status. You can track the flight, especially the people that are picking you up. Oh, they got a delay. They left later. Oh my God. So what time now do I get to the airport to pick them up? Well, check that flight tracker. It's gonna give you up-to-date information. So there's things out there. There's tools out there to put in your traveling tool bag, for sure.
Yes. And what else should be in your tool bag? Well, as I said, snacks, and of course you can't bring liquids like a drink. You can buy a drink within, like, when
Right.
you're past security and all that. Just think of those little things that you might need should you be delayed. Maybe those disposable little toothbrushes. Gosh, there's so many little things that, excuse me, aren't going to take up a lot of space to give you
Exactly.
peace of mind. And I always pack a few extra pairs of different things,
Oh yeah, exactly. And the other key piece is I always freeze on a plane. I don't know about you, but I freeze on a plane.
I do too.
So I pack extra, like obviously where we're leaving warmer weather, you want to get to the airport, you don't want to be sweating because you're wearing warmer clothes. So I'll go with what I would normally wear around here. And then I pack my warmer clothes that are really, I could roll them up in a ball, some warm leggings, the socks, whatnot. And as soon as I get to the airport, then I change into the warmer clothes. But I always pack like a sweatshirt, even if I'm going to a warmer climate. In this case, I'm going to a cooler climate, but they keep the plane so damn cold. So I want that extra, and you can purchase their blankets, but let's face it, I just actually washed mine. They're like paper thin. They're like felt. Okay, they're not really a blanket. So I always try to bring an oversized sweatshirt just to keep me warm. And sometimes I even pack two. I'll wear one around my waist and have another one, so I can have something on my lap and then something on or around me. Because it just to me, there's nothing worse. It's, you know, being cold. You have ways to layer up to really keep that warmth in. So it's kind of easier than the opposite of trying to get cool. But it's just, I hate being uncomfortable on a plane. So I make sure that I'm as bundled up as I can.
Right. And then of course, for me, since I'm in that, respectable age bracket, I have to be careful of the liquids because I like to avoid using the airplane facilities.
Oh, yeah. The commode, the airplane commode.
Yes. I try to avoid that at all costs.
And I bet you know what, there's a lot of funny stories that go into the, airplane commode. Come on, there's so many funny ones. One that I can distinctly remember, and you didn't really see anything, but it was kind of funny, was a gentleman, and there was some turbulence, and they'd ordered everyone to sit, but he was already in the commode, and his door flung open, and he, like, half of them came out, and he was right in the midst of pulling up his trousers, and you didn't see anything, but then your imagination goes to that. And I thought, and I was so grateful that, like, he didn't bang his head or anything and get hurt. Yeah. He put his arm out and he caught the opposite side of the plane while trying to get his trousers up. So you basically saw the back of his butt a little bit, but other than that, and he actually got everyone applauded him because that kind of took talent. So in trying to balance all that out and not, being jolted like that, it was a big kaboom. So people were trying to, hold on for dear life. It was almost like, and I always compare that when you get the turbulence, the Jolly Green Giant, like I can imagine his arm coming up, just like shaking the plane. And that's what it felt like. So you're holding onto your seat and you're a little nerved up. I mean, people are screaming. And then you see this man pop out of their commode. So it kind of adds a little humor, I thought.
Well, humor goes a long way. I mean, since we started traveling when we were little to where we are today, I mean, look at how that industry has changed so dramatically. And of course,
Right.
now we have all these different airlines like Avilo that goes out of Tweed.
Fly Breeze, which I'm excited out of. Breeze Flies out of Fly Breeze. I gotta remember the name of it now.
Yeah, they're now in Hartford.
Yes, from Vero, nonstop. I'm super excited. Woo-hoo. I mean, yeah. I love nonstop flights. I'm not, especially if it's a short flight. Obviously, longer flights, depending on where you're going, you can't avoid it, right? But when you're only flying 2.5, 3 hours, you want to get there as quick as you can with least amount of worries. So somebody asked me the other day, what is the worst airport to have a connector? Do you know what that is?
I can think of two off the top of my head, but I'm going to say most recently, I would have to say it's Midway, Chicago.
No, it's actually New York, JFK, and
I was going to say JFK.
Yeah. The one of the absolute worst that you just don't want to lay over there because it's a very congested airport and there's always issues. And it's funny because I saw that stat, and then I actually do know a couple pilots and flight attendants, and I asked them that. They go, "Oh yeah, don't ever go through JFK. You'll get stuck there. Like don't even attempt it." And I've only done it a few times, really, in all my travels. Ironically, I don't normally stop in JFK, but I did one time, actually twice, and it was actually very pleasant. I didn't have an issue, so I was grateful and thankful. And I was kind of surprised because it's such a big airport. Why would they have all those issues? But, bigger is not always better sometimes. And bigger means more flights and more issues that could possibly occur. So it was an interesting stat. So avoid JFK unless that is your destination.
True. So Wealth Wellness Wednesday, give us the rundown.
Well, it's such a great day to, we're in that spirit anyways of the holiday, right? And we often talk about what we put out in the universe, the good vibes, the good energy, the excitement, but kindness and paying it forward. And a lot of people, when they hear about that and they kind of connect the dots, they assume still, even after all this time that we've been doing this, they assume that it means to donate to your like local charity or a charity that you always do. And that's not what it's about. It's actually about the action of presenting and surprising an unsuspected person with something that's going to pay it forward. So what do we mean by that? When you talk about, I just got to readjust myself here, and my legs crossed and they're getting numb sitting at my desk. So when you think about prosperity, when you think about, especially entrepreneurship, but it can be applied to any profession. When you think of prosperity, your dreams, your goals, and what the hot topic of talking about money is. But the truth of the matter is, the more that you have, the more that you can impact, right? So wouldn't it be nice to say, ooh, if someone needs some help, or that church needs a new boiler, or my community needs a new playground. Now, how cool would it be that you could just pull out that checkbook and just write that check out, right? It's a good feeling knowing that you can freely give without the worry, because you have that mindset and understand the importance that the more that you have, the more that you can impact. So for some, yeah, they talk about the baubles and what you can do when you have more money, but that's the wrong mindset. It's okay to have those goals. It's about helping and really changing the course of someone's day. The other key piece is, it's not about the monetary amount. A lot of people get stuck on that as well. I think, oh, I don't have an extra $50. I don't have an extra $20. I don't have an extra $100. It's not about the amount. It's the act. And really understanding how that's going to really impact someone's day. Now, obviously, if it's a higher dollar amount, it's really going to impact their day. But again, it's not about the amount. So what does that mean, Carol Sue? What does that mean, Naughty Boss? What does that mean? Well, let's tell you. So say you are in one of your favorite stores, whatever that favorite store may be, and you happen to be in the pet food aisle. A lot of pets, are like children to a lot of families. Those are their loved ones, their Furbies, all that good stuff. And, you decided, what? I know a lot of people that have dogs. I'm going to tape a bill, on one of the packages. This is going to help defray the cost, because we know with everything going up, even pet food is going up. So now imagine that person picking up that bag of dog food, and they see a $5 bill there, a couple bucks on there, whatever it may be, right? $10, whatever. And because I've actually stood back and watched a few people that I've paid it forward to, and they have that look of, what is going on? Am I on, camera, for those of us that remember that, or, security watching me? Is this a gimmick? It's funny to see the reaction, but I've never once seen anyone look upset. I've never looked at anyone that is, anger. No, they instantly get a big smile. Sometimes it's a little confusing, but you think, oh, wow, you just put a smile on somebody's face. And maybe it's more than that. Maybe, it was a choice between, this week I fed my family, next week I feed my pet. That's the seriousness of what we're facing right now. So if we can impact and help other people defray the cost of something, guess what's going to happen? They're going to feel that gratitude. They're going to feel that kindness. And when it's their time, they're going to pay it forward. So imagine if we all did that. If everyone was paying it forward to someone else, putting a smile on their face, maybe helping them with gasoline. So it's so funny, because it's an infinity of what you can do. You can do it at a if you're in line for your coffee, if you happen to be on a highway that has a toll booth, if you're at a gas station, if you're at a doctor's office. So many times you hear that people, you got to pay a copay, and I didn't bring my wallet, I don't have any money. Or the grocery store. You're at the grocery store, and maybe the person in front of you is shortchanged, or when they're counting the pennies and can I afford that next item, help them out and just hand it over. That's an unsuspecting person. It's a stranger. So it's got to be someone that's a stranger that you don't know, number one. The monetary amount does not mean anything. Do I suggest that you kind of hang around and watch? You can. Sometimes I don't, but sometimes I do. And be creative. There's ways like in the children's aisle, the toy aisle, the baby aisle with the formula and the diapers. We know how expensive that stuff is. Sometimes I won't even put it on the outside. Sometimes I'll stick it on the inside. So as soon as they open it up, they see that bill and they're like, wow, like how did a bill get in the packaging of this box? So there's so many creative things that you can do. But the key piece, it's got to be someone unsuspecting. Monetary amount doesn't matter, and it's about paying it forward. And we are in a perfect season to do that. Don't you think, Jen?
Yeah, and that is the reason for the season. Go out and spread the kindness, spread the wealth. And on that note, we wish you an amazing Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Surprise that unsuspecting individual. And who knows, it will come back to you twofold. My name is Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carol, so aka Naughty Boss, praying to the sun gods that the sun comes out so we can get some pickleball on. But this is also a good day for me to get some packing done, so I'm excited about that too. We wish you a great Wealth Wellness Wednesday, and we will see you tomorrow for Trending Thursday. Now, keep in mind, yes, keep in mind, we are not going to go on the normal way that we're doing it, but I will be going live on our Facebook page. So we're doing it a little bit differently tomorrow. It won't be in this format. It will be on Facebook, and it'll be a Facebook Live for Trending Thursday. With that, we wish you a great Wealth Wellness Wednesday, and I'll see you tomorrow live and in person. Bye.